Hello everyone, welcome to class 4. I am your science teacher and today we will start our new lesson number 4, solids, liquids and gases. Now let me tell you learning objectives of today's lecture. These lessons will help you to learn about matter, study different states of matter and know how one state changes into another state. As discovered by scientists, the matter is made up of very tiny particles and these particles are so small that we cannot see them with naked eye. It has been observed that matter exists in nature in different forms. Some substances are rigid and have a fixed shape like wood and stone. Some substances can flow and take the shape of their container like water. While there are forms of matter that do not have definite or fixed shape or size such as air. Matter is something that has mass and occupies space. Matter is made of particles. The particles of matter are very small. The particles of matter are moving continuously and have space between them and attract each other because of force of attraction. Thus, the matter can be classified into different categories based on the physical properties fixed by them and the states in which they exist. Here, matter that feels hard and maintain fixed shape is called solid. Then, matter that feels wet and maintain its volume but not its shape is called liquid. Then matter that can change both shape and volume is called gas. Here in solids, particles are tightly or closely packed. The gaps between the particles are tiny and hence it is tough to compress them. Solid has a fixed shape and volume. Due to its rigid nature, particles in solid can only vibrate about their mean position and cannot move. Force of attraction between particles fixed. An example of solids are solid ice, sugar, wood, etc. In a liquid state of matter, particles are less tightly packed as compared to solids. Liquids take the shape of the container in which they are kept. Liquids are difficult to compress as particles have less space between them to move. Liquids have fixed volume but no fixed shape. Example of a liquid state of matter are water, milk, blood, coffee, etc. Now, in gases, particles are far apart from each other. Force of attraction between the particles and they can move freely. Gases have neither a fixed volume nor a fixed shape. The gaseous state has the highest compressibility as compared to solids and liquids. An example of gases are air, nitrogen, oxygen, helium and carbon dioxide. Some examples of solids are chair, table, ball and books. Solids have a fixed shape and volume. If we pick up solids and place it somewhere else, their shape and the space they occupy do not change. In solids, particles are tightly or closely packed. The gaps between the particles are tiny and it is tough to compress them. Solids have a fixed shape and volume. Due to its rigid nature, particles in solid can only vibrate about their mean position and cannot move. There are few characteristics of solids, like they have fixed shape, they have fixed volume. Molecules in a solid are very tightly packed. We cannot compress it. Solids are heavy. Solids do not flow. In a liquid state of matter, particles are less tightly packed. Liquids take the shape of the container in which they are kept. Liquids are difficult to compress as particles have less space between them to move. Liquids have fixed volume but no fixed shape. Example of liquid state of matter are water, milk, blood and coffee. The characteristic of liquid are they have no fixed shape as it takes the shape of its container. It has fixed volume. Molecules are loosely packed. It can be compressed. Liquid is lighter than solid. Liquid flows and hence is called fluid. If we keep the liquid in bottle, it will take the shape of bottle. Or if we keep the liquid in a bowl, it will take the shape of bowl. Thus, in whatever the shape of the container, we keep the liquid, it takes the shape of the container. But the volume of the liquid doesn't change. In a liquid, molecules or particles are not packed as close together as they are in solid. These molecules or particles can move around more freely. Due to this free movement of molecules, liquid can flow. In a gas, the molecules are far away from each other, due to which these molecules or particles move around freely in the space available to them. A gas doesn't have fixed shape. Molecule or particles of a gas can be squeezed into a small container or spread out in a big container. A gas doesn't have fixed volume. When we blow air into a balloon, it occupies a smaller volume. When air is let out of the balloon, it spreads all over the room to occupy a larger volume. There are 3 characteristics of gases. Gases have neither fixed shape nor volume. They are easily compressible. Molecules are far apart. Matter in everyday life exists in three forms: solid, liquids and gases. In this article and lesson, we will examine the interchangeability of the state of matter and examine the condition required for such a change. Let's start with ice cubes. Let's take some ice cubes and heat in a beaker. What you notice after a while is that the ice cubes are dissolving in its own liquid. This is what is meant by melting. After gaining sufficient energy, the molecules of ice escape out of the ice cubes and into the beaker, and in doing so undergo a change in state from solid to liquid. As we keep heating, the ice cubes gradually become smaller and smaller and turn into water. This change of state is referred to as melting, and it is a change of state from solid to liquid. The process of change of solid substance into its liquid state is called melting. The constant temperature at which the solid becomes liquid upon absorption of heat at constant pressure is called the melting point of that solid. Generally, melting point increases with the increase in pressure. The process of conversion of substance from the liquid state to its vapor state at any temperature below boiling point is called evaporation. During evaporation, the temperature of liquid falls. To maintain temperature balance, the liquid particles absorb heat from the surrounding, making the surrounding cooler. To increase the rate of evaporation, we should increase the surface area, the temperature and the wind speed, and should decrease the humidity. When we supply heat energy to liquid, the particles start moving faster. At a certain temperature, a point is reached when the particles have enough energy to break free from the force of attraction of each other. At this temperature, the liquid starts changing into gas or vapor. The temperature at which a liquid starts boiling at atmospheric pressure is known as its boiling point. Pure liquids have fixed boiling point and it can be considered as its purity. Condensation is the process by which water vapor in the air is changed into liquid water. In other words, the water in the air, a gas known as water vapor, from your hot shower cooled when it met the surface the cold mirror. You can also think of condensation in terms of being the opposite of evaporation, or the process of liquid turning into a gas. This happens when a pot of water is boiled on the stove. The steam, another form of water vapor, and bubbles you see in the boiling pot of water are evidence of the liquid being changed into gas. The condensation point of water is the same as the boiling point of water. This occurs at 212 degrees Fahrenheit or 100 degrees Celsius. As you increase water up to and beyond 100 degrees Celsius, the water will boil. If you reverse the process and the cool water vapor down to and below 100 degrees Celsius, it will condense and return to liquid form. While condensation occurs at all temperature between 32 Fahrenheit and 212 Fahrenheit, it is most noticeable when there is large temperature difference between an object and the atmosphere. For example, you may see bits of water on the outside of a bucket of ice cream on a hot day. In this case, you can see condensation in action. However, 3 hours later, that bucket of ice cream is now melted and the water on the outside may be gone. But condensation is still happening, just at a much smaller and slower rate, so it may not be noticeable. Keep in mind that there is always water in the air, even though we do not always see evidence of it. Solidification, also known as freezing, is a phase change of matter that results in the production of solid. Generally, this occurs when the temperature of liquid is lowered below its freezing point. Although the freezing point and melting point of most materials are the same temperature, this is not the case for all substances, so freezing point and melting point are not necessarily interchangeable terms. Several examples of solidification may be found in everyday life, including freezing of water to form ice in an ice cube tray, formation of snow, and solidification of melted candle wax. Do you know what is the difference between melting and solidification? Melting is the change of state from a solid to liquid. Melting of a pure substance occurs at a particular constant temperature called melting point, and the change of state from a liquid to solid is called solidification or freezing. A pure substance freezes at temperature equals to its melting point. Now let me tell you what is solute, solvent and solution. A substance dissolved in a solution is called as solute. A solute can be solid, liquid or gas. Though mostly it is a solid compound, salt in seawater, sugar in water, oxygen in the air are the few typical examples of the solutes. The solute dissolved in the solvent only when the attractive forces between the two is stronger enough, which can overcome molecule or particle forces holding the particles. Do you know what are the characteristics of solute? Solute have higher boiling points than solvent. These can be solid, liquid or gas. By increasing the surface area of particles of the solute, the solubility will increase. The solid particles are broken into smaller pieces. In case of gaseous solute, the solubility is affected by the pressure beside the volume and temperature. Now let me tell you what is solvent. The solute is dissolved in the solvent. It can also be defined as the substance in which different substances or compounds dissolve to become a solution. Solvent occupies the major portion of solution. These are usually liquids. Water is said to be the most common solvent in everyday life as it has the capability of dissolving any gas, solid or liquid substances. Common example of solvents include water and milk. The term solvent can be defined as a substance that has the ability to dissolve a given solute to form a solution with it. Although solvents are mostly used in the liquid state, it is possible for solvent to exist in the solid and gaseous phase as well. A solution is formed when two or more substances mix together such that they are evenly distributed. The substance that dissolves is called the solute. The substance in which the solute dissolves is called the solvent. A solute and solvent together form a solution. If we add salt to water, the water turns salty. In the same way, we can add sugar to warm milk and observe what happens. You will see that in both the cases, the salt and the sugar mix with the liquid dissolve in it. Salt and sugar are the solvent, water and milk are the solvent, and the salty water and sweet milk are solution. Now let's understand separation of substance. To separate means to remove. For example, we wash our hairs to remove all the dirt and oil. That means we are separating the dirt and oil from our hair. Separation of substance is very useful in science as well as in our daily life. What are the different methods and reasons for separation of substance are: there are two kinds of substances, soluble and insoluble. Soluble substances are those substances that dissolve completely in a solvent to form a solution. For example, salt and sugar are soluble in water. Insoluble substances are those substances that do not dissolve completely in a solvent. For example, sand and chalk are insoluble in water. There are many ways in which we can separate substances from a soluble. Like, soluble substances can be separated by heating the solution. For example, salt can be separated from the salt solution by heating the salt solution. Water evaporates on heating and the salt particles are left behind. In filtration, a solution containing insoluble substances is passes through a filter paper. On doing so, the liquid passes through the filter paper while the insoluble substance get retained on the filter paper. For example, sand and water can be separated by filtration. An example of filtration used at home is the separation of tea leaves from tea using strainer. During sedimentation, the liquid is left undistributed for some time, the heavy insoluble solids settle down at the bottom. This process in which insoluble substances settle down is called sedimentation, which is another method of separation of substances like dirt and water. Through this method, we are separating sand or dirt from water. After sedimentation process, the upper clear liquid is poured into another container without disturbing the insoluble solid. This process is called decantation. Mud and water can be separated by sedimentation and decantation. So let's revise. Any substance that has a mass and occupies space is called matter. There are three states of matter: solid, liquid and gas. Solids are substances in which the particles are packed very close to each other. Solids are usually hard and have a fixed shape. Pencil, book, chair are examples of solids. Liquids are substances in which the particles are not very closely packed. Unlike solids, they have no fixed shape and can flow. Water, milk and juice are examples of liquids. Gases are substances in which the particles are very loosely packed. They too have no fixed shape. Unlike liquid, they occupy all the available space in the container. Matter can change its form from one state to another. The process by which a solid changes into liquid is called melting. The process by which a liquid changes into a gas is called vaporization. Vaporization can happen by evaporation and boiling method. The process by which a gas changes into liquid on cooling is called condensation. The process by which a liquid changes into a solid on cooling is called solidification. A solution is formed when two or more substances mix together such that they are evenly distributed. The substance that dissolves is called the solute. The substance in which the solute dissolves is called the solvent. A solute and solvent together form a solution. Separation of substance. To separate means to remove. There are two kinds of substances: soluble and insoluble. Heating, that is the method of separation of substances. In filtration, a solution containing insoluble substance is passed through a filter paper. For example, sand and water can be separated by filtration. Mud and water can be separated by sedimentation and decantation. During sedimentation, the liquid is left undisturbed for some time. The heavy insoluble solid settles down at the bottom. This way we can separate mud and water. So in this lecture, we have learned about states of matter, change of state and separation of substances. Thank you. Stay home and stay safe.